Hello, welcome back to another Minute with Chelsea. And today the interview is with
Brett Kean. So I'm Brett Kean with Kean Eye Real Estate. I am a real estate broker in Florida, in Gainesville, Florida. So north central to northeast Florida. Brett Kean, Kean Eye Real Estate. Make sure you use Kean Eye.
Where are you from? You from Gainesville?
No, so actually I grew up in a really, really small town in Michigan, in the thumb of Michigan. So real estate, I kind of fell into it, you know.
Yeah.
Basically a whole bunch of crazy stuff happened in my life, and I was used to working, you know. I went to school for law enforcement, so I went to college for law enforcement. I was an RA, a resident assistant in college. I worked 3 jobs every year in college, worked my tail off, studied hard, graduated with honors. You know, and then when I graduated, I'm like, okay, I just worked my tail off. I'm ready to seize the world by the horns, and I got hit with my, you know, $80,000 in student loans. So I was like, man, this is crazy. This is not right. And I didn't know what to do, so I just went to work right away. I was used to working about 80 hours a week, 80, 90 hours a week. That first year I got out of college, I probably took less than a handful of days off. I worked at a juvie, so I would work 16 hours on Saturday, 16 hours on Sunday, and a lot of times I'd work 16 hours on Friday or on Monday. And then as soon as I got off work from there, I would drive back and I would pour concrete and I would lay block during the week, and I worked my tail off, you know. And at the end of the year, I got my taxes, and I did not make, you know, I sacrificed the whole year basically, and I did not make hardly any money, and I really wasn't making any financial headway. So I thought there's got to be a better way, you know. So I fell across the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a crucial book. It's by Robert Kiyosaki's his name, and I read that book, and that's what kind of got me planted the real estate seed, right? So a couple other things happened in life. A couple years went by. Long story short, really long story short. I packed my bags. I moved to Florida. Didn't know anybody. Didn't have any connections. I really was still not financially literate, but I got my real estate license finally a couple years ago, and I just went all in.
Yeah.
And now here we are today, and it's all worked out. So
Perfect. You had something, something didn't work out, but you still kept going.
Always have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never give up. It's
Never.
the love lady motto. Just try to spread that.
Never surrender. Never give up. Never quit.
Yes.
Heck yeah, I agree with that. So Chelsea, I noticed something on your wall.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Make peace with bombing. What does
Be
that mean?
brave, because you have things that doesn't happen the way you want it to. Like you had started a particular career, but then it didn't work out. But then you kept. Be brave to keep going.
Yeah.
Never give up.
Never give up. Yeah. So make peace with bombing. I saw that. I thought it was super cool. And failure. Basically, what you're saying is like you have to be okay to fail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make peace with it.
Make peace with it.
And unfortunately, recently, because of complications with medication, I recently had a seizure, and I started to just hate a lot of things in my recovery, in my life. But to make peace with it is such a strength in a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. Well, you're a very strong person.
Thank you.
You definitely are. Yeah.
That's the point of these minute withs or just interviews. No matter who is doing whatever they're doing, it's make peace and keep working hard at. Never give it up.
Never. Always keep chipping away. Yeah. I read I've always been a pretty resilient person, pretty, you know, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll keep going until I figure it out. But I've always had that in me, but I read a book when I got into real estate called Fail Fast, Fail Often. And it talks about all these studies where people in a classroom, there was 2 groups. One was assigned like, hey, quality, I'm going to grade you on quality. And the other was assigned like sheer quantity. If you put out, you know, you need to put out 100 projects and then you'll get a good grade. And the other one was like your project, you need to put out 1 project, but it needs to be the best project. And it talked about this over and over again in the book, and it basically just kept reiterating that the people who did more quantity, their projects were actually better. because they were failing, they were reiterating, they were learning from their experiences, and that's really shaped my whole perspective on life, really. I mean, if you're going to learn a new skill, if you're going to do anything, chances are pretty good that you're going to be terrible at it at the beginning. That's just how it works, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not the failures don't make you a failure.
Right.
There's actually positive within mistakes. Realizing, okay, this is how you don't do something, and resolve it and fix it.
Exactly.
Be brave, find peace in the mistakes, and use that as tools.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Every master, I mean, a lot of people, we hear these quotes all the time, you know, we see these examples all the time, Albert Einstein and the light bulb, and whoever that was, I'm not a scientist, you know what I'm saying. If you want to be a master at something, you have to start as a beginner. You can't avoid it. You just can't avoid that. So, like, the sooner you can fail, the faster you can fail, the faster you can succeed. It's that simple. It's simple, but it's not really easy. But yeah, so that I thought was super cool. And another thing that I love about your place is the walls, you know. So like you're very creative, very creative, and it's just unique. I don't see. I mean, I'm in houses all the time, and I don't see many setups like this. So I think that's really cool.
Just blank walls. Boring. I'll go to someone's apartment or house and it's blank walls. I'm like, there's no personality here.
Yeah.
Personality, it makes me feel good. You know, it's messy from the outside view, but it's
you. It's your place. It's your space.
Yes,
it's you.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not afraid to be you, and I love that. And I think that's another super important thing in life is there's so many gurus and there's so many people giving advice and doing all this other stuff online and telling you need to do this, you need to do that, you know, this is what I did, this is what you need to do. And for me personally, one of my opinions is basically you can learn a little bit from everybody, but you have to find your own path. You really have to find your own path. You have to listen to your own voice. You have to really dive into your uniqueness. Like you clearly do, and you clearly have, so props to you. And you just have to listen to that own voice, and you have to understand and realize, like, everybody is different. You know, we all have different backgrounds, we all have different pasts, we all have different experiences, so you just have to be yourself and listen to your own unique voice. So absolutely. I just thought that was super cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The saying is there's no two brain injuries that are the same.
Yeah, like us.
Well, duh.
Like us. Yeah.
There's no two people that are the same.
Yeah.
So there's no the DNA of a person. No person is the same.
100%.
It's no two brain injuries that are the same, but there's no two recoveries that are the same. There's not two. You get that same information. How does everyone applies it completely differently?
Yeah, I mean, we're great examples. You know, we're both in the same boat, recovering from severe brain trauma, severe brain injury. So, I mean, kudos to us, though, huh?
Yes.
Getting after it.
We're superheroes.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, superhero right here. Yeah.
Superhero.
Amen. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So within your to get to your goal, how do you get there? How you see it, and what do you use?
Yeah. So basically, what are some of my keys to success?
Keys to success.
Okay. Well, I would say some things that I've learned. First of all, you have to. So there's a couple things, right? One, I would say you have to visualize and believe. So you have to know where you're going, right? Because nobody's going to tell you. Everybody has their own stuff going on. Everybody has their own life going on. What do you uniquely want in your life? See it in your mind, write it down, and then break it up into small, manageable pieces. So I would say a couple of keys to success. One is don't be afraid to fail. I don't believe in failure. I don't believe in risk. I think it's all learning. I think it's all experience, period.
Yes.
But that's maybe not, that's a little bit, you have to get there by yourself, and not everybody does, and that's okay. You don't have to be like that. Keys to success. One, I would say, counterintuitively, I would say do less. So I would do less. Do less. Yeah.
More.
Yeah. So most people, you know, I got this new goal. I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay, I gotta lose 20 pounds. I gotta go to the gym for 8 hours for the next 3 days, and that might be good for a time, but you'll burn out. One, you'll burn out. Two, you probably won't hit your goal because it's, you know, you probably set it too big. And basically, you haven't changed your identity. If you do that, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this thing, and then I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to hit that goal. So do less. I've found it very helpful to just do, if I have a goal, say, I want to close 20 deals by the end of the year. Okay. If I generate leads, or if I get on the phones for an hour every single day, because it's only an hour every single day, that's very manageable for me. I can stay in a flow state. I don't have to think about, there's no friction. When I get up immediately, I run and then I do my lead generation. So it's just part of my habit, and it's not like I don't burn out. I have personally gotten to the point where I've used to work 16 hours, used to work nonstop. I burned myself out, and then I would lose how much progress because I do nothing for 4 days or 5 days or a week or 2 weeks. So one key to success, I would say, do less than you think you have to, but do it consistently. Yeah, consistency always beats intensity over time, always. And consistency compounds. So you just get better. You just get better at the skill the more you do it. So I would say one key is do less than you think you should, but do it consistently. Another key I would say is keep people around you who are supportive. And they're letting you know that they're supportive, and they're speaking life into you, and they're encouraging you. Nobody succeeds alone, nobody succeeds alone. So your network and your circle, make sure you're talking to people who are doing what you want to do. You're watching people who are doing what you want to do, and you're keeping people around you who are positive and they're upbeat and they're encouraging. So curb out all the negativity, even if it's from your own mind, curb that out. You can control that. Really be careful about your relationships, who you're listening to, who you're taking advice from. If they're not where you want to be, then don't listen to them, period. That's it. I'm pretty ruthless with that now, and you just got to be. So one, do less than what you have to. Two, keep positive dreamers and doers and thinkers in your network. And three, I would say, just like what you said, don't be afraid to fail. You really can't be afraid to fail. You just have to try, and you just have to keep going. A key to success for me is my fitness, so always staying active. So I do an hour of exercise every day. So find your anchor, right? That's another key, is find your anchor. Mine is my physical fitness and working out. I've always lifted weights, but recently, a couple years ago, I got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and yoga. And that, to me, like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a superpower, and for me, it's one of my keys to success, because it teaches you humility, it makes you fall in love with being a learner and a student again, because like when you're, in my experience, when you're a man coming of age, you're like faced with the world and you feel like you have to conquer it, and you're nowhere near, you think, okay, I have to be the top. Like, I have to be the one who knows everything. I have to be the provider. I have to be the income earner. I have to be, I have to be this. And when you're a boy becoming a man, you're not. It's like you're a student. Like, you're not, you're just not these things yet. And that's okay. But nobody tells you that. Personally, from my experience as a man, nobody tells you that it's okay that you're not there yet. You're expected to either be like that, or you're expected to pretend like you're like that, which is a whole different conversation. But key to this success for me, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Cannot recommend it highly enough. So I would say those are...
A word that you said a few sentences ago, it is like my light bulb for me. Yet. I'm not good. I'm not where I want to be yet. Mm-hmm. It's the belief in the future.
Absolutely.
It's belief in possibility. It's still a yes or no, but it's still yet.
Absolutely.
You set your goals, and your goal. That's why you go there.
Absolutely.
Do it, yes.
Yeah, and as soon as you kind of understand that, it's one thing to talk about it, but as soon as you kind of understand that, like, hey, it's literally just a matter of time, you realize you're perfect the way you are. Like, everything is okay. You're not lacking. You're not, you're not scarce in anything. You're not insufficient. Like, everything is okay. You're perfect the way you are, but you're continuing to get better. That's how I look at it.
Something my sister has told me about it's a quote from a movie, The Help.
I've seen The Help. I've seen it.
I am smart, I am kind,
yes.
and I am important.
You was smart, you was kind, you was
important. Yes. And anytime I'm feeling just like not good or thing. I always hear her in my head saying
Yeah.
that. And it's if I've written down because like I have to think on my wall. It's not my wall, but that one is over there.
I love it.
To remind me.
I love it. That's a great. It's funny what we put on our walls. You know, it's well. First of all, it's true. But I have in my office. I have all kinds of posters and motivational stuff. You know, I have the Rocky picture of him going like this. I have the Arnold with the Conqueror, and then I have a couple other quotes on there. And above my calendar is actually a poster that says every black belt is a white belt that refused to quit. You know, and that's how I look at life.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. Right on.
Great to be connected and have inspiration anywhere. That's why I even have on my wall over there, life is art. I could be walking somewhere and see something somewhere that just reminds me or makes me think of something. Life everywhere, you can find something.
Something beautiful. Yeah,
Yes,
life is really beautiful, you know. We have so much limited time. We only have one life, you know, and it's like, you know, what you see. In the past, you know, before I got into this and I kind of got my life together, I was a very negative person. I was a very pessimistic person, and you know, I was angry all the time. Was. That's long gone, buddy, long gone. But like, I can understand those types of people because I was like that, you know. So like, when you're looking, oh, I don't have enough money, I can't afford anything, you know, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? You're walking around, you're impatient all the time. Oh, this person's got it out for me. That person's got it out for me. You know, you're impatient. Like what you're looking for, you're gonna find. You know, and like if you can just open yourself up, if you can change your own thinking to be more positive. Like beauty's everywhere. Beauty's everywhere. Opportunities everywhere. You know, inspiration's everywhere. But it starts with you. Yes, you know. But life is beautiful, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Always. Yeah.
Okay, Brett. So, if anyone is interested in getting into real estate, what would they do? How would they find?
Yes. Great question, Chelsea. So, if you're interested if you're the type of person who you're always first to the job. You're last on the job, if you're a grinder, if you're a hustler, if you have a vision in your head of what your life should look like or what you want it to look like, if you want to get into an industry where the income potential is literally unlimited, if you want to push yourself, your abilities and your skills to the limits, if you're not afraid of failure, if you're ready to get after it, if you want to learn, if you're curious about real estate investing, if you're curious about buying or selling homes or helping people buy or sell homes, anything real estate, anything personal development, if you're interested, if this speaks to you, then you can find me at, I think my Instagram is Chelsea-Kean Eye. My Facebook is just Brett Kean Eye Real Estate. All my phone number, my email, all that stuff is on there. Yeah, let's have a chat. You know, we're located in Gainesville, Florida currently. We're growing quickly, and the trajectory is unlimited. So if that speaks to you, give me a call, shoot me a DM, shoot me a text.
Right here.
Okay, Chelsea, thank you for your time. I love anytime I get to see you. I love what you're doing. Yeah, the Minutes with Chelsea is awesome.
Thank you for joining me with A Minute with Chelsea.
So you know what they say, when you're buying or selling real estate, make sure you use a keen eye. Let's go. Hey, good job.